Alright, hi everyone, my name is Joey V, welcoming you back to another Lunatic Jedi production, and this will be Act 2 of Kentucky Route Zero. Let me explain. So last week, I was kind of in between games. I've still kind of been in between games. And at some point, I figured, well, let me try playing some Dota. Let me play some Heroes of the Storm. Dota played okay, but Dota kind of takes my focus away from the stream, so I can't really talk to you, the consumer. Heroes of the Storm was a little bit easier, but my computer does not like to play Heroes of the Storm and stream off of that same computer. So it's just total mess. It's a total slideshow. It was unwatchable. So me wanting to make sure that my fans and friends get a little bit of a good show, I decided to boot up a game called Kentucky Route Zero. Now, I wasn't prepared for this. I just kind of put my webcam up in the corner over here and just went for it. What we found was a amazing kind of modern take on an adventure game. Very story-driven, fantastic art, beautiful music, haunting. It was creepy as all hell, but kind of amazing. So, this week has been a little rough. I was recording a podcast on Monday, so I just didn't have time to. Play on Monday, and on Tuesday my internet went out. So I was not feeling super great tonight, but I got a second wind, and I figured let us go play the second act of Kentucky Route Zero. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. The reason why I'm talking to you here like this is that I've made the decision that because I want the game full screen, when we go into game, you will not see me. You will hear me, but you will not see me. I will read most of the dialogue. But yeah, that's the decision I've made because I think the game is absolutely beautiful and I don't want myself to distract from it. I should have made a similar decision during my Journey playthrough, but what are you going to do? So this is something that I will probably end up doing in the future for other games that I think are beautiful or kind of I don't want to detract from. So that being said, I'm gonna check a chat real quick to see if they have anything to say, and then after that, I'm gonna go into Kentucky Route Zero. Okay. All right, everything is good. Let me put this up. Let me put that up, and I'm sorry. Let me do this and this. That and that. All right. Let me make sure. Alright, I think everyone can see that. So, let us start Act 2. Did I do it? Did I do that thing? Did I do the thing I was supposed to? Yes, I did. I did the thing I was supposed to. Great. Alright. Letter. Attention! Lola Chamberlain. Read your application. Thank you for your application to the Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture's annual fellowship. We received a record number of applications this year, over 100 in total, and regrettably, we can award only one fellowship position per year. As you know, our review process includes a multi-phase blind committee analysis of portfolio submissions, as well as a careful review by a panel of subject matter experts on each applicant's notability and relevance in the field. We must be extremely selective in our process so as to maintain the level of standards we have established for our 35 years in operation. Our panel did not select your application. We encourage you to consider reapplying next year. Many young artists and architects reapply for a few successive years before being accepted. Sincerely, Dr. Carl Stone Norden, Architect, Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture. Below the printed text is a hastily handwritten note. Note, sorry for the condescending form letter. I love your work. Unfortunately, I just do the mail here. Your Obedient servant Robert? I'm furious. I'm throwing the letter in the wastebasket. Lola, I'm going to open a folder of writing paper on my desk. I think I'm going to write to Robert. Dearest Robert, thank you for your kind note. Though it has been years since my name appeared in a gallery program, except as an occasional dusty curiosity at a group show or as an impertinent subject of some misguided retrospective, I continue to something gratitude. Yours in Sue, Lola. Busy? How are you, Rick? I shouldn't complain, so... did you get my note? About the proposals? I'm still working on them. Okay, gotcha. Well. Hey, I'm not here to rush you. So, how'd your application go? It's in the mailroom and I saw you got a letter back. Sorry, I don't mean to pry, I just saw. It's fine, Rick. I'm not going anywhere. How's your goldfish? Act 2, Scene 1. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Get a good rest in the truck? Yeah, let's talk to Blue. Get a good rest in the truck? Yeah, I know you love a drive. You always want to talk positively to a dog whenever possible, because they respond to that. The wind in your ears. Yeah, I saw you back there, Blue. Didn't we just pass this place? I don't think the Zero operates like the roads we're used to. I don't understand it either. So what is this place? Looks like an office building. Yeah, an office building in a cathedral. This is weird, but do you think we're inside or outside right now? Both. Ha! Okay, very poetic. Well, maybe someone around here has a better sense of direction. End of the line? Maybe it's still under construction. We can hope. Akira says, I love Blue. Oh, I love her too. She's great. I'm still kind of walking with a limp. From the looks of it. Well, here you are. Better late than never, I guess. Just unload the whiskey over there by the elevator. I'll figure something out. We're actually a bit lost, ma'am. You're lost, so you're not the... Sorry, honest mistake. We're supposed to have a little celebration here at the office, but the whiskey never showed up. Saw your truck and thought, you don't really look like one of the boys from the distillery anyway. What are you celebrating? Oh, the less I understand, the better. When I'm here, I keep the fans tuned and the furnace hot and listen for the bell. When I get home, I'm a different person. I don't have to think about it. I just paint. Well, it's clear you're new to this territory. I expect you just me to be passing through. I'll have Shannon talk. That's the idea. It always is. You're going to need to talk to someone upstairs about that. One of the map clerks. But first, we've got to get you in the system. So you'll need an appointment with one of the ingestion clerks. Now, let's see. Rick is booked proofreading drafts all afternoon, and Wanda's out on a site. Let me make some calls and see if we have anyone free. There's some books over there in the waiting area, or just take a look around. Have you seen our grotesques? The television is playing a cartoon about a bird. The cartoon bird pieces for its nest, a scarf, a plastic chopping bag, a bit of a young girl's hair. The nest is warm but precariously fragile. Television is playing what looks like a nature documentary. A hermit crab scuttles across a beach. Its shell is an awkward shape, as if once belonged to a different crab. The television is playing an instructional video on elevator design. It is crucial to maintain proper lighting in an elevator. In the absence of sight, passengers' sense of motion is greatly enhanced. Passengers should never feel as though they are physically ascending or descending. The elevator should create the illusion that the building is flat. This is the mark of a successful elevator design. I would suppose that's about right. The television is playing a closed-circuit security feed of a housing project. Feed switches mechanically between locations. A hallway, a disused plot of grass, a stairwell, a mailbox. The television is playing a silent video of an empty theater. The microphone sits in the middle of the stage. The lights are slightly dim. The speakers hum patiently. It's really creepy. Now I'm moving real slow. Alright, nothing else. 3 books are piled on the table. A service manual for a sewage pump, some architectural plans for a bungalow, and a slim collection of Japanese death haiku. An envelope is protruding from the bottom of the stack. Pick up the envelope. The envelope reads, Bureau of Secret Tourism. Contains several small handwritten brochures with ritualistic directions to bizarre locations. Alright. Oh, good. I thought you'd left. People can be so impatient. You never know. Well, I have your meeting with Lola Chamberlain. She's a senior clerk and doesn't usually handle the ingestion process, but she's the only woman with room in her plate this evening. My schedule says she's on the 5th floor reviewing some diagrams. The elevator's just back to the left there, 5th floor. Alright. She's on the 5th floor, right? Ha! First floor, clerk's office. Lobby, clerk's offices, conference room, bears. Archives and records, diagrams and drafts. Well, I'm going to go to 5th floor and hope that I can go see bears again. Holy shit, there's just a bunch of bears! It's just a bunch of bears. Greg is hard at work examining some diagrams, measuring angles with a plastic protractor, and occasionally scribbling numbers in a small leather notebook. Taffy says, "Why the hell are there bears on the third floor?" Kira, better question, why don't buildings have bare floors all the time? You know, all these are great questions. Can I help you? Don't answer that. Sorry, we're looking for an ingestion clerk? Oh, no, I'm an interior spatial analyst. Can't help you with that. I think the ingestion clerks have all gone home for the night. Lola might be able to help you. She's pretty senior. You just missed her, actually. She was up here about an hour ago. She's probably back at her real desk now on the first floor. She barely made a dent in these diagrams. Must have been distracted. Speaking of which... Eco says all buildings should have bears on all floors. Why not bare floor? Well, we're going to pass bare floor in a second, so... Bears! Bears! Hello? Are you lost? We're looking for Lola Chamberlain. Oh, no, she's much too busy. Let's get some of our junior clerks to start your paperwork first, so we don't waste any of Ms. Chamberlain's time. It's a pretty straightforward process. First, you'll need to get a case number assigned. Talk to Clerk Metzstein about that. She's just over there at the end of the row. Happy to help. Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. I just need your ingestion card and a list of the last 5 permanent addresses. I don't think I've had 5 permanent addresses. Oh. My sheet has 5 address boxes, and it says to fill everything out. Maybe if you fill out a transient subsheet, we can still get it processed. Go talk to Clerk Baum, and he'll get you set up with one. Clerk Baum is just over there in the corner. Happy to help. Howdy. Here for a transient sheet? No problem. Rummages through some papers on his desk. Happy to help. Opens a few folders and quickly closes them. Looks like I'm out, but I know there are some back in the archive. Let's put in a special request with Clerk Macmillan. She's the document czar. Straight back at the end of the office there, by the file cabinets. This is just a run around. Where's Lola Chamberlain? Oh, no, it's... I mean, that's her right there, in the cardigan. Having fun in the paperclip labyrinth? Well, you made it eventually. You look exhausted. I'd offer you my seat, but my ankles are turning on me. Arthritis? Dr. Truman says my joints are eroding one another. We've been collaborating for decades. It's only natural they want to kill each other now. Well, enough about my hateful wrists and ankles. This concrete bunker of an office is just a waypoint for you. I'm sure... It's just a waypoint for you, I'm sure. Where is it you're trying to go? Looking for 5 Dogwood Drive. Dogwood Drive. It's funny. Do you know I used to live on a Dogwood Drive? This was years ago. A grimy old house. Basement full of insects. Attic full of birds. Had a few roommates. We all worked at the university. I had a dog. Drank whiskey and beer and made sculptures. Now that Dogwood was a surface road. A name like that, it would have to be. What are you doing on the Zero? Yeah, my cousin Weaver sent us this way. Cousin Weaver? Weaver Marquez? I didn't expect to hear from her again. Do you know her? She came through here as an intern. One of my old colleagues must have referred her. Do you know I never asked? Anyway, there's not much challenging work here, much less for a gifted mathematician. She helped translate some notes on architectural plans I picked up in Mexico. She was very bored. We used to sit on the steps by the river on our lunch break and talk about geometry. Hope she wasn't in trouble. I lost touch with her so suddenly. I'd recommend she go see... I had recommended she go see some old friends of mine at the university about a new acoustic surveying venture. From where she became wrapped up in some tenured professor's quixotic research project. You know the type. Gray-haired, intellectual, narcissistic. Well, that is... I guess she sent you here because she respected me. Thought I could help. Weaver's a dear girl, but I'm afraid you've been misled. Excuse me. But where's the Dogwood Drive you lived on? Maybe it's the same one. No, it's not possible. The Dogwood Drive I lived on is now called Pale Dogwood Drive. They've renamed all the streets, you see. Too many streets with the same names. It was never a problem before, but now we have these databases, and it's all too confusing for the computer. The computer has no sense of ambiguity, so it proclaims an error. Name collisions, they call them. So my Dogwood Drive is Pale Dogwood Drive, and another might be Large-Leafed Dogwood Drive, or Himalayan Flowering Dogwood Drive, and so on. One of them is still just Dogwood Drive. Or so we might hope. It's really a matter of consulting records, of which we have an abundance here. Do you have a record of those streets? I expect we must. They'll be up in Archives and Records, 4th floor. It'll be filed under 0 for autonyms, probably, or G for generic, or maybe S for specific, depending on which part of the street name was changed. Archives and Records, so 4th floor. We're going to see the bears again. Bears. Bears. Damn, this place is a mess. Okay. Take a look through that logbook, I guess. Maybe there's some kind of system to all these boxes? I'll just start digging. Small logbook has a small leather cover. A few notes are scribbled on the inside covers. Most pages are just lists of titles. Excuse me. Names and dates. Inside front. Oh no. Several documents related to sporting competition venues were quickly checked out and back in over a period of a few days. Note in logbook. Document staff, please do not transfer any more records from the storage unit until we get the new file cabinets in. We're up to F. That we'll have to do for now. Instruct clerks to focus on activities beginning with the letters A, B, C, D, E, or F, or activities most likely to involve research on subjects beginning with those letters. For example, cars is okay because it involves automotive, driving, brakes, etc. But air quality is not okay because it relates to health, safety, pollution. Single set of documents relating to coal mining operations. Operations were checked out and back in by several different people within a few hours. Failing antique shops. Folder missing. Listed, checked in on page. Not present. Check in. Failing antique shops. Monday, 3 p.m. Signee Ed Baum. Alright, let me just transfer through all this. Alright, let's put the logbook away. We got nothing? Me neither. Half of these boxes aren't even labeled, and the rest are all from the first few letters of the alphabet. Couldn't find anything with an O or a G or an S. The clerk knows something else we can look. We're gonna go look at a bomb. I'm just too curious. I have to go to Bears. Hello, bears. Bears are just hanging out, man. Those bears are just hanging out. They don't even want to maul me. Nothing? That's unfortunate. Well, they must still be in transit. See, we've only moved into this new venue somewhat recently. It's all a bit in progress. This was a cathedral not so long ago. Can you believe it? And the Bureau reclaimed it. That old congregation has been directed to one of the storage facilities for their activity. That's where you'll find the street name records, I expect, at the church. Man, a reception can give you directions. Just come back here when you have the files, and we'll begin the necessary paperwork to have the information analyzed. Oh, and while you're out on the road, you might want to stop and see Dr. Truman bite your leg. He's a specialist regarding ailments of the joints and limbs, and I know he works at night. His home office is in a small neighborhood on the east edge of the Bowling Green. Here's his card. Do stop and see him. That leg is a miserable sight. Take care of each other. Poor leg. Be straight with me. What is this place? Just another office, lady. Just another job. You kicked out a congregation to set up your office? I wasn't here for that. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. Still, I wouldn't judge until I'd seen everything. They've got a new church now, and Bureau set it up for them out of some of their old storage space. I'm sure it's very nice. Go see it for yourself. Just get back on the Zero and drive until you hit the Crystal, then turn around. It'll make sense once you get on the road. You can handle it. And move on. Brochure describes this place as a gallery of mislaid futures, abandoned on lonely highways as American industrial design shifted its gaze to the intangible. There's a large warehouse full of oddly shaped vehicles, blimp-like, rusted vessels, mostly painted in a dull green that has now faded towards brown. No path has been carved to navigate between them, and many have been damaged enough to leave menacing bits of metal running jaggedly through their small open spaces. It's all the visitor can do to stand at the edge of the building, neck craned, trying to get a glimpse of something. trying to look for the doctor, but maybe we'll get to him later. St. Thomas Church, Act 2, Scene 2. Is that it? Over there? It's dusty in here. You work with antiques. You should be used to a little dust, right? Oh, here for the night mass? What kind of mass is it? Tonight, it's a homily on work and need. Huh, I haven't heard this one before. Where's the congregation? I guess this must look pretty strange. Church without a congregation. They first moved in here. Man, this place was packed. They had a mass every night, 2 on Sunday. But it got a bit awkward to fit everyone in, and the numbers quickly dwindled. Once folks started to see it as a thing that was just falling apart, they lost their center of gravity and just started wobbling. Then the preacher started coming too. But he left his old tapes. Same with the organist. And I found some old acetates in the bureau archives, photos of people in churches. So I kept them running. You do what you have to, right? We've all got a job. Work is play for mortal stakes. That's the title of the evening's homily, in fact. So I guess if folks aren't here for mass, you must be looking for the old bureau records. Move them down to unit C315 to make room for the mass. It's down at the other end of the building. Same floor. I need to get to night mass started, but you can borrow my keys. I'll go. You wait here. Rest your leg. Looking kind of pale. Nice, lady. Well, I'd better get this running. Brandon presses play on an old tape machine. Conway listens to the homily. There are many days of which we proclaim the value of labor, celebrate the piety of the hard-working through feast or abstinence, recognizing St. Joseph, the worker, who was foster father to our Lord Jesus, and who trained him in carpentry and in the merit of sweat. And this is one such day. How do you like working here? It's okay. I don't really know what else I would do. I used to play a lot of card games, in high school. Some of my friends went to college, but most of them just got jobs. Maybe in a few years we'll be hanging out in bars, playing darts or something. You're not allowed to play cards at the bar. Because it looks like gambling. Beyond the church, this day is celebrated in remembrance of a violent protest in Chicago, and to honor the 4 martyrs who were unjustly persecuted in its wake, having not only pursued their vocation in their daily labor, but also having pursued their avocation in the form of protest, activism, community building, radicalization, scholarship, and finally martyrdom. Their and our advocation being, as it should be for us all, as members of the church or otherwise, to secure for our fellow workers the right to labor with dignity. So this is like a hobby? If you asked me what my hobbies were, I'd say card games, science fiction, and perspective geometry. But I run the slideshow and I play the tapes and I don't get paid for it. I take it pretty seriously, but no one's telling me I should. Is that a hobby? Seems like there ought to be a more serious word for it. Okay, that's it. Next, there are some rituals that you and I aren't allowed to participate in. I don't think. I don't remember them anyways. Hi, got it. We were just talking about work and hobbies. What? I found what we came here to get. The file on street name changes. You don't look good. Let's head back to the bureau and get this all straightened out. Maybe we should go see that doctor the clerk recommended. That was fucking creepy as hell. Jesus, are you alright? What the hell? I'm okay. I've got you. You're alright. Shit, your leg is pinned. I'm gonna pull you out. We have to get you out of here. There you go. Okay, are you hurt? Can you put it away on the leg? It's all messed up. Here, let's get you onto the tram. There you go. Now, let's see if this thing has power. Hey, old man, look at me. Can you hear me? What happened? I don't know. He collapsed. I think he blacked out. He was mumbling about the old mine for a minute. Never mind where we met. I think I need to see that doctor. Yes, you do. How do we get to this address from here? I don't know. It's pretty tricky going back and forth between, you know, here and there. Bureau's the only way I know. Some of those folks do it all the time. Commuters. Just go back the way you came. Find the crystal, and then turn around. Act 2, Scene 3. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Back so soon? Can we talk to Clerk Lula Chamberlain again? I'm afraid she left. In a big hurry, actually. Something happened with your meeting? She seemed pretty interested in my cousin Weaver. I don't know who that is. She did seem distressed. Well, heading back to the interstate? I could process you whenever you're ready to go back. Just let me know. Got a few more things to see down here. Taffy says, wait a minute, that person's named Brandon too? Shannon and Brandon? Me and Toa? That's weird. Hey, just so happens. Head back into the night. Now, is the doctor here? Or is the doctor back on the interstate? Drive clockwise until you reach the feather. Pause for a moment to consider the cave walls. Reverse direction and drive counterclockwise until you hit the birdhouse. Turn around again and you're almost upon it. To return, simply find the feather again. Try this out. So there's the crystal. Tunnels are described as a series of materials evacuated by runoff from an underground river which long ago evaporated, now the tangled vessel of marooned echoes. They're surprisingly large. A distant scratching sound catches Conway's attention from a tunnel leading downwards. Another tunnel runs into darkness to the left. Let's climb down. Conway and Shannon climb down. The tunnel narrows a bit. The air is warmer here. Climb down. Shannon has the sense that something is hiding just out of sight. Climb down. 3 gray-furred cats sit on a piece of driftwood, tails coiled. They regard the intruders for a moment and return to their indifferent. Drive clockwise to the feather, then come back to the town, turn again, and there you are. Hey, you're looking kind of tired there, old man. Want me to take the wheel for a bit? Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Scene 4. How long has there been a character named Brandon? Just tonight. Just that one. Rare to be processed. Can you tell us how to get to this address? Look for Dr. Truman. Of course, this is in a neighborhood just outside of Bowling Green. Get on 65 going southwest. Take a right just past the observatory, just before the river. If you continue north, you'll be there shortly. Happy to help. Southwest. Take a right just past the observatory. The neighborhood at the address on Lola's card has been demolished. In its place is a large museum, still partially under construction. Act 2, Scene 5. Museum of Dwellings. Oh yeah, he was talking to his dog. Guy was a weirdo. Doesn't seem that weird. Didn't see the guy. Tall, kind of stooped over, limping bad. Looked like an old drunk if you ask me. I bet they were both drunks. Breaking in here looking for a place to sleep it off. just feel bad for that old dog getting dragged all over by a couple of drunks. Old dog like that should be sleeping on a porch somewhere. That's loyalty for you. Well, they didn't stay long anyways. I just assumed they were from the power company, you know? How they're always coming by unannounced and messing with that or this. I just locked myself up in my room to wait it out. No sense getting involved. They definitely weren't from the power company. Well, I wouldn't complain if they were, really. With that storm going on. You know they have to do their business. It doesn't affect me. I've got my generator. You know some of those folks around here. Unprepared. Totally unprepared. I heard the man and the lady talking when they first came in. They didn't see me. What were they talking about? The man said his leg was hurting him. They were looking for Dr. Truman, but he was already gone. But they didn't know, so they kept looking around. Also, nice. Congrats, Akira, on beating that challenge in Splatoon. Good job. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Holy shit. I was playing in that empty cabin and they came by. That's about Dr. Truman. I know where he went, but I didn't tell them. Where did Dr. Truman go? It's a secret. Ezra told me and I can't tell anyone else. What else did the strangers say? The lady asked me about my parents and I told them they were upstairs in the greenhouse. Do you want to hear a weird story? Of course I do. The old man asked me about the cabin. He said it looked like another house he knew. He wanted to know where it came from. I told him nobody lived here, so he went inside. It took a long time exploring. When he came back, he told me all about it. What did he find in the cabin? He went upstairs and he also looked around the other rooms. I played with the dog. What did he do upstairs? He looked in some boxes. He looked out the window. He could see the museum better. Then he went downstairs. He could tell how it was all put together. In the cabin, too, he could see the shape of it better from up there. Now, the part that is weird, he said he went to the basement. That cabin doesn't have a basement. He said he found a staircase in the closet. And he found... Then he found a rope leading down a long pit, and he climbed down. The walls were covered in a glowing moss. He used the light of the moss to find a lake at the bottom of the pit. The water swept him around until he didn't know where he was. And finally he fell asleep in the water. He woke up on the floor of the cabin, came back outside, and said goodbye. And I didn't talk to them anymore. What the fuck? So weird. The moment I now recall most clearly from their short visit was the birdcage exhibit. The old man stopped to rest, or maybe to think. The young woman had been anxious up to that point, but she stopped as well and examined the birdcage more closely. It seemed to elicit a tenderness from her. She ran one fingernail along the bars of the wire cage, marking out a tuneless scale like a child's xylophone. And then they moved on. That dog was in nearly as bad shape as the old man, just sort of shrugging along. I found some treats in the doghouse exhibit. That seemed to cheer him up a bit. I think you need to get some real horses in the stable. Do you like horses? Not anymore. Now I like jungle cats. Should get some real panthers in the stable. We have to get some real chickens in the coop. Do some homesteading. None of these folks know how to live off the land. You know what I mean? It's just a display. Another kind of dwelling. Yeah. No offense against you guys. I mean, I appreciate what you've all done for us. Sure, I talked to them for a bit. Actually talked for quite a while. Wasn't busy. I was happy for the company. Can't sleep in a storm like that. I never could. What did you talk about? I had a bottle in my coat, and I could see the old guy looking at it, and his leg was hurt pretty bad, so I offered him some. He got real awkward about it. I bet he's in a program. Anyway, they were asking about Dr. Truman. I remember him. He was here for a bit, and then he left. So that's why I told him. Come on, Blue. Can't leave without Blue. We were working in the greenhouse, and I saw them came up in the elevator. They were lost, obviously. It was obvious. Oh, that giant bird in the background. Oh, of course. I saw them looking at that odd-shaped building. Sure, the rounded metal one. Yeah, that one. House of the future sort of thing. I always thought it looked more like a grain bin. Actually, I guess it's sort of romantic. Anyway, they seemed interested in it. Tired, hollering around their umbrellas. I still stopped to examine the strange building. Yeah, that can happen sometimes, Taffy. Difficult to see or even hear a storm like that, but I was awake and alert, studying the week's forecast. Should even out shortly, I said. Did you talk to them? Yes, we had a short conversation. The young woman heard my radio crackling from the cabin and asked about it. The old man was a bit disoriented. What she want to know about your radio? she thought she recognized the model, just from the noise he was making. I didn't even know the model myself. She told me many old radios from the period had badly designed tuning circuits that caused the kind of resonant feedback in certain spots on the dial. Easy to pick out, if you have the ear for it. Smart young woman, and I always loved to chat with an artisan. Well, then they had to leave. Looking for a doctor, I think. Old man was having a bad time. It was a short conversation. Flora was playing down on the lower level, and we'd been having a glass of wine in the greenhouse. We ducked out of the way when he came in. After all, they were complete strangers. We didn't know them. Did you ever hear them talking? Well, I heard the young woman ask her friend about his job. Some kind of furniture collector or dealer, I think. It didn't sound like things were going well. Maybe they were looking for a buyer? Yes, definitely some kind of furniture collector or dealer. I heard him talking about antiques. I saw you folks drive up. I like your truck. What kind of truck is that? I've got a couple of them at the shop. This is the only one that runs. Oh yeah. The truck, you got to keep it up. That's why me and Julian don't use the truck. We just carry the houses. Sounds very impressive. Yeah, it's a big job. Me and Julian take them out to the forest every night. And we bring them back at dawn before the museum opens. How do you take them to the forest? The museum is an okay place to live in daytime, but it's no good at night. Folks just sleep in a place like this. And when they do, it gives them nightmares. So we take them out to the forest to sleep and bring them back in the morning. And Dr. Truman is in the forest already? Yes, ma'am. He's out in the forest. Me and Julian took him out there a few nights ago, and he didn't want to come back. He's there all the time now. Can you tell us how to get there? You have to follow the Green River way out east, and then hop over Lake Cumberland. Roads don't go there. Me and Julian can take you. We're just about to go anyways. We just gotta call him over. This bird is gonna be ginormous. Shit, man. Doing some crazy shit. Tiny gray figure walks along the side of the road, carrying what appears to be a guitar case, followed closely by a smaller shape. A dog? It looks tired. shadowy figure drags itself out of the lake, stuffs its limbs into a small blue suit, and trudges slackly out of view. Lake Cumberland. Act 2, Scene 6. A forest. It's okay. Just take it easy. Just close my eyes. I don't think that's a good idea. Just take some strain off your leg for a minute. And we'll keep going. Why is this delivery so important to you? It's my last delivery. Oh, you're retiring or something? Or sorry. My set's closing up the shop. That's I like that the kid doesn't know their names, so when you hover over, he doesn't tell you who it is. What do you like to do? Chase rabbits? Sure, so do me and Julian. We always let them go, though. Interesting way of showing you them traveling. Shouldn't be much further now. I think I see where the settlement is over there. These are some fine looking trees. Ha! Yeah, really nice. You're a tree enthusiast? I like birds. Birds like trees. Okay, I can follow that logic. You're in a lot of pain right now, aren't you? Thinking about getting back to work. We're almost there. We'll get you patched up and back in that truck. You can handle this. You ever been here in the winter? I bet the lake freezes. You can walk anywhere. Taffy says, I like the music. The music is fantastic. If you look up, if you go online and you go to, you just look for like Kentucky Route Zero, soundtrack. All of the tracks are up on the writer's Bandcamp, and they're all fantastic. Do you have any family you're close with? Brothers, sisters, kids? I have a brother, but I wouldn't say we're close. What's he do? He's about my age. Retired. Retired? Can't imagine. Well, I probably hate it anyways. Never talked to him? Nah, I burned that bridge pretty bad. Who knows? I guess I was always closest with Weaver. As close as someone can be with a girl like that. She was always on her own wavelength, but we were the same age growing up, and everyone else was so busy. When she disappeared, I got pretty angry, and I guess I just stayed that way. I never really understood her, but I knew her. Lonely without someone like that around. Sorry, you're a good listener. I bet you come from a big family of dogs. Well, I have a pretty good sized family too, I guess. I guess we'll see the rest of them pretty soon. $2 bill, boys, $2 bill. Lost all my money, but a $2. He's inside of Dr. Truman. You coming in? Sure, I'll come in. Dr. Truman lets me watch TV sometimes. My folks never watch TV. I like the way it looks. I like the way it looks too. I fix TVs, you know. Whoa, cool! A TV scientist. I bet you make a lot of money. My folks had a really nice house, bigger than any of these houses, but it made them worried all the time. Then the bank took it back. I had to sleep at the bus station, but I couldn't ever get to sleep, so I just went out to fly around every night with Julian. We flew really far, and we never got lost. When we came back in the morning, they were all gone. We'll help you look for them. Yeah, okay. Maybe we can all go looking again, later tonight. Let's go see what's on TV. Oh, little blue. And yeah, I think during that exit interview is when I really realized how badly they had me. How else can you pay for medical school? I have college friends with debts that you can't expect to pay that back unless you're planning to sell painkillers on the side or something. Or, some kind of administrative thing. I don't know. I haven't seen what arthritis did to my grandmother, my best friend in high school, destroy his wrist building synthesizers when he was like 17. Ailments of the joints and limbs just seem important to me. I hope that answers your question. Getting a scholarship with that pharmaceutical company had a lot of strings attached, but at least I have something to practice, even if I have to follow their market trends a bit. And hey, thanks to all those seminars, I'm an expert on the medical uses of neuroptyl TM. It's not so bad. So about that leg. What happened exactly? It was like something grabbed my leg in the dark. Grabbed? Like an animal? Or a piece of machinery? That could be ugly. I've seen some joints twisted right out of... Never mind. We'll start the examination. What are they singing about? They're singing about going home. Yeah, they're singing about their home because they're lost right now. It's a scary song. It's not scary. It's hopeful. Dr. Truman's gonna help your friend. He'll be okay. but it's nothing we can't handle. Might have a few things to look out for in the future. Be a bit gentler with the leg or the way you walk. You'll be okay. I've dealt with similar cases before. So the anesthetic we'll be using is called Neurethol TM. It's pretty experimental, but it's more appropriate in cases like yours. The way it works is I'll count backwards from 5 to start the process. And then we'll just have a normal conversation as the drug takes effect. Then I'll get started. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's talk about billing for a minute. The pharmaceutical company I've contracted with was recently acquired by an energy company that has some different standards for billing and revenue. So it's a little bit complex now. I'm getting chills. End of Act 2. Whew. Wow. Well, that, my friends, was beautiful. Fantastic. I thought it was fantastic. I thought they did a great job. The game is beautiful. It's haunting. It's got amazing music. It's got a great aesthetic and graphic style. You know, the story, I love the story. And I will preface it by saying I love the story in the way that I'm making my own story. I'm making Conway a troubled man who has a past that he's trying to work through. He's a good person, but he's done some bad things in his life and he's trying to atone. I like that. I like that I can make him like that. Whereas like the overall story, kind of the long narrative, maybe it doesn't make sense. You know, is this mystical? Is this a dream world? You know, I guess we'll just never know. You know? I mean, maybe not. Maybe we'll know at some point. But it's beautiful. Utterly fantastic. If you get a chance, you should absolutely play it. I'm hoping that I will be around tomorrow to play Act 3. If I'm not around tomorrow, then I'll be around on Friday to play through Act 3. So hopefully this week we'll finish up Act 3. The developers of Kentucky Route Zero should have stated that they are going to be coming out with Act 4 and Act 5. They want everything to go through. Act 5 will be the last one. So I'm supremely interested to see where this goes. I don't know. The game just really resonates with me. I think it's just beautiful and kind of scary. But, you know, awesome. That sounds good, Taffy. Yeah, you guys are going back to school soon, so that'll be fantastic for you guys. Sounds exciting. Kind of the way that the game makes me feel is that we have a magazine here in New Jersey. It's called Weird New Jersey, and it's a magazine where they go to odd places in the state, and they take photos and they write stories. Um, like people will go to the Pine Barrens, and late at night they'll try and look for the Jersey Devil, or people will go to abandoned mental institutions and take photos and spend the night. And the thing that Kentucky Route Zero has going for it, the thing that it kind of draws me to it, is this idea of, America is a huge country, and there's so many weird hidden spots in the United States, and so many myths and legends and folk tales about what happens out there in the country and what happens in different parts of different states. And I like that. Kentucky Route Zero is, just sounds like an American folk tale. It's like, oh yeah, if you're going through Kentucky, there's a road out there called the Zero. It'll get you where you need to go, both physically and spiritually. Stuff like that. Like, I think that's just so cool. I think that's amazing. So I'm really enjoying it. Hope all of you are as well. I felt really good knowing that my face was not distracting from anything that was going on. So with that being said, I'm going to log off for the night, and I will be back probably Friday, but I'll just keep posted. And how do you keep posted? Well, if you want to know when I go live, go check facebook.com/lunaticjedi or twitter.com/lunaticjedi. That tells you when I'm going live and when new videos are up. If you want to go see all the videos that I've ever done, or if you want to go see my calendar of upcoming events, you can go to www.lunaticjedi.com. If you want to ask me a question, you can do so by going to lunaticjedi.tumblr.com. Use the Ask Me Anything feature. In addition to all that, you can go check out the Lunatic Jedi podcast. It's Lunatic Jedi Podcast over on iTunes, or you can go to lunaticjedi.simplecast.fm. If you have any topics for the podcast that you'd like to submit, or any questions for me, you can go send them to lunaticjedi@gmail.com. I have a podcast that I'm hoping to get up by the end of the week. I just have to edit it. Like I said, it's been fucking crazy this week. But Katie and I recorded a podcast about television. Specifically, we talked about the changing landscape of how to view television, and how different means of viewing are affecting the cable companies and affecting our generation. But also then we talk about some of our favorite shows, shows that were great triumphs for us, shows that were disappointments for us, and shows that we are currently watching and why. And hopefully from there you can get some ideas about that. We're in a really great golden age of television, and we talk about all the shows that we love. So that's what it is. Great, Akira, just email it to me. Will there be potential spoilers in those TV shows? I'm trying to think. I'm going to say that there are probably a few spoilers, but I think we tried real hard to kind of steer clear of them. We tried real hard. We tried to talk in broad terms when it came to that. But as I'm editing it this week, I'll try and pay attention to that. But I'm pretty sure we tried to stay in broad terms. So nothing overly like, oh, this is how this show ended. Like, I don't think we did anything like that. We were pretty good about that, I think. All right. Well, with that being said, Kira, email me that show topic. I'll be sure to add it to the list. And that the only other thing I would like to state, and I will put this in. I'll put this in chat, just so that people have it. My good friend Dan, who helped host and guest my third episode of the podcast, in which he talked about his trip to Japan. Dan has a new website out there. If you remember, his Twitch name is You're All Fabulous. So guess what? He has a new domain name out there. It's www.yourallfabulous.tv. So go check that out. Go check it out. It's really cool. He's using the same kind of software that I'm using in terms of keeping track of everything. It's Dan is one great people. He's super, super awesome, and I just want nothing but the best for him. And soon he's gonna be moving, like maybe like 15 minutes away from me. So we are super excited about all the stuff that we can do together, whether it be in terms of charity streams, or he can be on my stream, I can be on his stream. We're gonna definitely work on something like that. He said something jokingly last week, like, like I don't think I'll ever be able to beat Dark Souls without like someone there to guide me through it. And I said, well, fuck you. I'm coming over to your place and we're going to fucking stream Dark Souls until you beat it. So I'm really hoping that goes through, because the more people playing Dark Souls, the better. So, but yeah, it's super exciting. I can't wait till he's around for that. So everyone go check out his stuff. Follow his Twitch page. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. Go to his website. Great people. Really great dude. And yeah, super exciting. I'm going to log off for the rest of the night. Everybody have a fantastic evening. Have a great rest of tomorrow. And I will see you next time. Later, everybody. Bye.